From Parking Lot to Garden by Carolyn Kendrick. Introduction. The freshest, healthiest food comes right out of a garden. But what if you don't have a place to garden? What if you don't know how to grow plants? Then check out community gardens. Almost any unused land can become a garden. One day you may pass an old parking lot. The next day, people are hard at work digging in the lot. Soon they are planting seeds. Weeks later, the lot is alive with flowers and vegetables. Today, America has more than 10,000 community gardens. In this book, you'll learn how community gardens invite people to get growing. In cities, community gardens give people a chance to grow some of their own food. Gardens alive! Have you ever planted a seed and watched it grow? First, a tiny green hook pokes through the soil. Then it unfolds. 2 little seed leaves spread out. They store food to get the little plant going. Next, larger leaves grow to catch the sun. Now the plant is on its way. With water, sunlight, and rich soil, it grows bigger every day. With good care, these bean sprouts will make a tasty meal. Kids learn to plant, tend, and harvest community garden crops. At Oakhurst Community Garden, kids learn how plants grow. But these kids in Decatur, Georgia, don't sit in a classroom. They're working in the garden. Their hands are in the soil. They plant seeds and tend the growing plants. In a few weeks, they'll harvest fresh vegetables. They learn that garden plants are dependent on humans to care for them. In turn, we depend on plants for our food. Building a garden. To be effective, a community garden needs teamwork. Over the years, volunteer teams have helped Oakhurst grow. They built a pond with frogs. They planted a bog with strange plants that eat insects. They even made a woodland to shelter wild animals. Volunteers also tend the garden's chickens, turtles, and beehives. Every community garden starts with a story. Oakhurst is no exception. In 1996, Louise Jackson had a problem. Every day, school children cut through her yard, trampling her beautiful garden. But Louise didn't get mad. Instead, she got people together. Some community gardens include a chicken yard. The chickens lay eggs and eat harmful insects. Their droppings make great fertilizer. A fence protects the garden. Louise and her neighbors talked to the kids. "Please protect Louise's garden," they said. Together, they built a fence for the garden. The kids painted the fence. They planted seeds. Their plants grew big and beautiful. Soon, more kids came. They needed more garden space. Louise helped them plant the street divider in front of her house. The mayor came to visit. He gave each kid a special award. The neighbors found a big vacant lot. They bought it and created the Oakhurst Community Garden Project. They granted or gave the lot to the new garden. Now when people visit Oakhurst, they see how living things work. They see that plants need healthy soil. Oakhurst doesn't just teach kids how to grow a garden. It also shows them how to care for planet Earth. At community gardens, kids work together to start and care for gardens. Gardens for the homeless. Some community gardens don't stay put for long. The gardens are often on public land. When someone wants to build, the garden is in danger. That's what happened in Danbury, Connecticut. The city decided to build a new school right on top of a community garden. The gardeners urged the city to let them keep the garden. The city built the school anyway. This could be a sad garden story, but it's not. The new school created another garden. Here, the students grow food for homeless people. Their vegetables go to a soup kitchen. There, homeless people can get a good meal. Fresh vegetables from community gardens feed homeless people at soup kitchens. Some gardeners make dried flower wreaths, like this one, to sell. But in Santa Cruz, California, you'll find just the opposite. The homeless feed other people. Stop at a restaurant or market and check out the garden fresh veggies. They may be from the homeless garden. If you're down on your luck, the garden helps you get back on your feet. Here, people learn the business of gardening. They grow vegetables and flowers. Then they sell them to restaurants. At the garden, everyone gets the help they need. Empty lots make good gardens. Being homeless is scary. In many places, ordinances or local laws were passed to keep the homeless off the streets. But the laws leave them with no place to go. Violations of the laws will get them in trouble. What can they do? Well, some cities have figured out a unique solution to this problem. One of them is Yakima, Washington. It made a garden just for homeless kids. The city took a deteriorating city lot full of weeds and trash. Left alone, it would just get worse and become dangerous. The city cleared the lot to make a garden. The city invited homeless kids to help create the garden. Now the kids work with the adults. They grow healthy foods. They learn how to run a vegetable stand. And best of all, they earn their own money. The garden helps the neighborhood, too. It is a beautiful place that neighbors like to visit. The garden is a feast for the eyes, says one. The kids make friends in the community. The garden helps them become part of the community. At last, they have a place that they can call home. Teamwork changed the lot into a lively garden. Gardens in the desert. When families need food, community gardens can help. In Tucson, Arizona, more families need food help from the Tucson Community Food Bank each year. The food bank gives out food boxes. The canned goods are the minimum needed to see a family through a hard time, but they don't solve a family's problems. Food banks help people meet their food needs. So, the food bank is taking on a bigger issue. It wants to help families have enough healthy food all the time. To do this, it shows people how to grow their own food. Tucson is a hot, dry desert town. It doesn't have much water, so the food bank teaches people how to grow water-saving gardens. The food bank grows its own market garden, too. People tour the garden to see what to plant in different seasons. If you see broccoli, it must be winter in the desert. Summers are way too hot for broccoli. The food bank sells the market garden produce at farmers markets. Gardeners sell their extra vegetables at the market too. Now people in Tucson can buy fresh veggies grown nearby. Growing on. Every community garden is different. Some are learning places, like Oakhurst. Others offer neighbors a place to grow food. Some create beautiful green spaces in the middle of busy cities. Others help the homeless learn new skills. Still others grow food for community food banks. Many gardens do several of these things. Still, community gardens also have much in common. All are built with teamwork, and all bring people together. Community gardens bring people together for good food and good times. Responding. Target vocabulary. Word builder. What issue do you think should be solved? Why is it an important issue? In the first column, list an issue. In the second column, tell why it is important. Copy this chart and add more words. Write about it. Text to world. Community gardens have helped change cities. Write about an issue that is important to the world. Tell why you think it is an important issue. List one way the issue could be resolved. Include words from the chart in your writing. Target vocabulary. Dependent. Deteriorating. Effective. Exception. Granted. Issue. Minimum. Ordinance. Urge. Violations. Target strategy. Summarize. Briefly tell the important parts of the text in your own words. Word teaser. Break me down into two parts. I am a small verb and a girl's name. What word am I?